So, I'm sitting, just to make it easier. Take a look at the Golden Dome. You see the Golden Dome? We call it the Dome of the Rock. Which rock we are talking about? We are talking about the rock of foundation. What is the meaning? Founding the world. There is tradition that the world was founded on the rock that is under this dome. Now today what you have there, this is the Laksa Mosque, and this is the Dome of the Rock. This is the mosque that actually people are praying here and all over this plaza. This plaza is here for the past 2,000 years. Before that, there was no plaza. Before that, if you look at the road, you see the turn on the road?
Yes.
Take a look left, about 300 meters from the road, from the curve, there is a corner of a tower and there is some fortified wall over there.
Yes.
That was Jerusalem from the time of King David 3,000 years ago. 3,000 years ago. Now, in order to begin, beside of founding the world, there is the story of Abraham, the binding of Isaac on the Moriah Mountain. The Moriah Mountain is the Temple Mount.
Temple Mount.
So over here was the binding of Isaac. Another 1,000 years later, King David conquered Jerusalem from the Jebusites and he established his palace. Now, you can see that little turn over there, that little hillside, it's very small. It's something in the width of 300 meters and about 1 kilometer long.
Yes.
That is that little hill. And this is the valley that we call the Valley of Jehoshaphat or the Kidron Valley. That is the valley that separates the Temple Mount from Mount of Olives. Now, King David conquered and his son King Solomon built the first temple that was there. The first temple, as you can see, is not so fancy. You can remove the mask in the open place unless you want to put the mask. It's okay, but you can remove, take fresh air in open place. It's not a problem.
We are in the Mount of Olives.
And King Solomon built the first temple. The first temple was in the same place of the Golden Dome.
When it was built?
3,000 years ago. Now I'm showing you this poster to show you this is what we have today. This is what used to be 2,000 years ago, the second temple, and this was the first temple. You see? This is what we have today. This is what used to be 2,000 years ago. The second temple, the temple that was expanded by King Herod. You see, after 400 years of the first temple of King Solomon, the Babylons came and destroyed it. And then after destroying the temple, the first temple, and 70 years later, the Persians conquered the land and they allowed the Jewish leaders over there in Babylon, they allowed them to come and to build the temple again. So Ezra and Nehemiah came and built the second temple. 500 years later, the king of Judea, of this land, back then they called it Judea, because just to give you a quick explanation about Israel and Judea of the past, at the biblical time, the first kings, 4 kings, were Saul, David, Solomon, Rehoboam. The first 4 kings, they were kings of all the 12 tribes of Israel. At the time of King Rehoboam, the kingdom was split. 10 tribes were the kingdom of Israel, and another 2 tribes were the kingdom of Judea. So the 10 tribes were defeated at the 8th century BC. They were exiled from the land. We don't know where they are. There is all kind of different theories about it. And over here in this land, the whole land over here, it was called Judea for a very long time. Now Herod the Great, who built this land, he wanted to build big places in order that everyone will remember him. So he built Herodion, that is about 15 kilometers south, the place where he was buried, a little fortress over there. He built Masada. If you've heard about Masada, I don't know if you have a book or if you just Google Masada, you will see it's a big fortress that was built on an isolated mountain near the Dead Sea. We are not going to see it today, but you can see pictures of that. Maybe sometime in the future you will have the chance to visit there with me or without me. You sure I'm advising you to visit there. He also built Caesarea, which is the port city on the Mediterranean, about 1 hour north from Tel Aviv. He built the palace in Jericho, and he built water aqueduct from Hebron to Jerusalem, 30 kilometers of aqueduct that lead water for about 900 years to Jerusalem. Because here in Jerusalem there is a little spring down near the Kidron Valley, near the city of David, down over there, and that's it. King Herod built a reservoir and the aqueduct, and that was the water supply. Now
So just one
back
thing,
to yes, please.
the Ten Commandments that was written. So we understand that it is there inside this.
Yes.
Right now, where the dome is there.
No, they know because the Ark of the Covenant.
Okay.
We are talking about the Ark that Moses had
Moses had, yes.
with the two tablets.
Yes.
That Ark is gone. No one knows.
No one knows
There
where it
is
is right now.
many different theories. One theory is saying that it's placed in a church in Aksum, Ethiopia.
Correct. But when the first temple was made, I
Yes,
understand that it was placed
there.
here.
It was placed there in the Holy of Holies. You see, the holy
Yes.
part of the temple. When we pass by some shop, I'll show you a little model of the Ark of the Covenant.
Okay.
That
But even when the second temple was built,
no,
it
the
was
second temple
not there.
It wasn't there, but it still was the Holy of Holiness. You see, the Spirit of God is all the time here. So for priests to serve and to be able to serve and to enter to the Holy of Holiness was an amazing thing for him. Now, we later on we will see that and we'll talk about it more. I just want to tell a few other details about this place. You see, this is the Antonio Fortress that was north from the temple. Now,
Where is it right now? It's not there.
it's not there. There is remains of the floor, and that's it.
Okay.
Theory that remains of the floor of the Antonio Fortress. Now, beside of that, we can stand up now.
What is this right now? This one.
I'm just about to tell about it. You see, over there is a great dome.
Yes.
That is Dominus Flevit, which means in Latin, the Lord wept. Now, at the year 33, Jesus came from Capernaum, which is near the Sea of Galilee. Don't know if you've been to the Sea of Galilee or not.
Yes.
You've been? When?
We've been.
This week?
Last week.
Last week.
Oh, last week. Yes, with Ruby?
Yes.
Yes.
That's it. So, uh, what I'm talking,
Jesus
he came to the other side of Mount Olive, and then he came over here, and he started walking toward the temple. Over here, according to tradition, he stood. He looked toward the temple, and he wept. Why he wept? Because he had a vision about the temple, that the temple is about to be destroyed. In the year 70, the second temple was destroyed when the Jews revolted against the Romans, and the Roman they brought a big army to stop the revolt against them and to, of course, to punish whoever attempted to revolt against them. And now, what else we have here? We have the walls of the old city. Now, close to the Temple Mount, this part of wall is 2,000 years old.
It's full one.
This one all over, you see this long one?
Yes.
Now, over there, you see there is a
Yes.
tower with two arches.
Yes.
That is the Golden Gate. Through this gate, there is a belief or tradition saying that through this gate, the Messiah will enter and bring the third temple. So,
वो जो देख रहे हो ना,
सामने पिलर
हमने
पिलर
जैसे
so
अभी
you
बंद
see,
है, it's closed है.
you see that near the gate, there is a cemetery, and the gate was sealed. Now, beside of
The
that,
cemetery, the like full thing.
over there it's Muslim cemetery. Here it's Jewish cemetery. Now, in the valley between the trees, there is a few tombs, a Christian cemetery. And over here, you see there is a tree just down in
Olive
some
trees.
tower. No. The end of
Okay,
the
yeah,
tree,
we
there
can
is a little tower.
Mhm.
So over there is mausoleums and a place of burial for one prophet and also priests that used to live here in Jerusalem. After Jesus wept over Jerusalem, he entered, cast away the money changers because he had some criticism about what's happening here in Jerusalem. And then in that specific week, he had the Last Supper. If you look at the opposite hill, you see there is a tower of a church. Left from that high tower, the white tower, there is a great dome.
Yes.
That great dome is above the room of the Last Supper. Now, beside of that, what else we have? We have the Last Supper. After the Last Supper,
About this golden dome, is there?
this is the Russian church Maria Magdalena, and Maria Magdalena was built here in the 19th century. Even though it's Russian, one British princess was buried there. The grandmother, something she had some relation to the royal British family. So Prince William, when he was here in 2018, he was paying his respect and visiting at the Russian church here to the tomb of his aunt or grandmother. What else we have here? That is
So that is
the
Laksa
golden
Mosque,
dome.
right?
The Last Supper is there.
Laksa Mosque is this
The
one.
Laksa is this.
It's a golden dome.
Down over there, this is Gethsemane. Gethsemane is the place where Jesus came to pray after the Last Supper. Over there, he was
What is
praying.
supper?
Supper, they eat something.
Last Supper.
Acha.
The Last Supper in the
हाँ,
last.
इसमें वो photo है ना, it became very.
When you
Okay.
watch movies about churches, you see that the priest is holding a cup. In the cup, he have wine, and they give something round to the people to put in their mouth. These are little pieces of bread. Now, in the Last Supper, Jesus gave his followers. He gave them the wine. He told them, "This is my blood," and he gave them pieces of bread, and he told them, "This is my flesh." Now, this is what's happening in the services in the Catholic and at the Christian churches, the different Christian churches. Each one have its in a different way, but this is what happens. He came over here to this valley. Over here was arrested. Then he was taken to the Antonia fortress, which was here. Over there he was sentenced, and he was sentenced to be crucified.
Where you got crucified? Which place?
Which place? Now, the Christian believe that the place of the crucifixion was at Golgotha.
Where is it? Not here.
It's here in Jerusalem. Now, one theory says big percentage of the Christians believe that millions of Christians believe that the crucifixion happened in what we call today the building of the Church of Holy Sepulchre. Take a look straight ahead. You see there is two great domes, one small, one big.
Yes.
Yes.
The big one is above the tomb. The small one is near the place where the crucifixion was. Now, later on, we will drive toward the old city and we will
Have a look closely.
have a closer look. We'll see all those places and we'll talk about each place and about what happened there.
Where is the actually the western wall? Which side it is?
The western wall, you see the Golden Dome?
Yes.
You see the little minaret near that?
Yes.
Just next to that, it's the western wall.
Small wall. Yes.
It's not, no, the whole western wall, it's 400 meters, but the plaza is less than 100 meters, the part that is open. The other part, you see, there is building all over, and it's actually continue. You see that silver dome over there?
Yes.
It's continue all over there.
So actually,
Where all
What?
will we visit today?
Today,
Inside the-
today we are driving the old city. We will walk to the old city. We'll see a little bit of the Armenian, Jewish, Muslim, and Christian quarters. We'll see that church. We will walk to the Western Wall, walk around the bazaar, and then we drive to the Dead Sea.
What